Emotionally
No, I
scarred.
think it's called anal fissures.
Well, how would you like? So you watched me hit record. You watched the countdown. You could have said that before the camera started recording. You could have
Well, I
said that.
said something else, and I had to get to that point.
You
They're
know,
little rips in your.
yeah. You could have got like. I got,
Oh,
ladies and
you know what
gentlemen.
that.
Welcome to a brand new episode of On It. We're back. Please ignore whatever Devin is explaining over
We were talking about something else.
in his medical tent, his medical bubble. You got the blue tent over there talking about some whole other things. We are back. We are here. We do have a lot to talk about, Devin. We have some free agency stuff, some beef, some a top 10 list that I'm excited to get into.
Mm.
We have someone who has still not made a decision, and they're about to go into their second weekend chilling on a damn beach after being a free agent.
Was that picture real of him chilling on the beach with a hoodie on?
Um, I never looked at the actual picture. It just said,
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers viral beach pic. I would
Yeah,
assume it was real. I
yeah.
mean,
I thought that was from like 18 years ago, but it was like him with headphones and a hoodie or whatever.
and I don't blame bro. Here's the thing. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. We might as well.
I do blame him, but I wouldn't have expected otherwise from him.
No, well, no, I
Like
can't
this is
blame him. I'm
expected
saying,
behavior.
well, no, he was a Jet until Wednesday, though. It's like, I mean,
True.
he was binded at some, in some way to, I don't know. He was still a Jet, so I feel like once
Yeah, I
he's
don't.
not a Jet, it's like I'm officially not a Jet. I'm gonna go hit the beach, or bro goes to the beach all the time, and this was just the first time somebody actually saw him. Either way,
Sure.
instead of Aaron Rodgers going to the beach, we need to talk about what team he's going to be going to play for, because there's a third team thrown in the mix again. If
Out of
it seems like
nowhere.
every episode that we've talked about Aaron Rodgers, it seems like we've been trying to trim down the teams, and then boom, next
More
episode another
teams.
team throws their name in the hat. It was Giants, Steelers. Now, recent reports, the Minnesota Vikings
Well,
are
Darnold left, right?
Seattle, bro.
Darnold's in Seattle. You're right. Yes,
We
yes,
talk,
yes,
well,
yes.
we actually
Well,
didn't
I
talk about it
saw.
last episode, but yeah,
We'll talk about Seattle, but um, yeah, I just couldn't remember
Seattle.
what
We're going
Don
to talk
meant.
about Seattle as well, because Seattle
That's what I meant.
they
Yeah.
they're confusing the shit out of me. But Aaron
Why?
Rodgers, it was Giants, Steelers, Minnesota though comes out of nowhere that they're still contemplating their decision or options at quarterback next year, which tells me that they said that the delay on Aaron Rodgers' decision is because of Minnesota, getting in the
Throwing
mix,
in an offer. Yeah.
which tells me either he is at least interested in what they have to offer, or he's waiting to get an offer from them because that's who he wants to go to.
I think that he. Uh, I'm pretty sure he's. Hopefully, he's only in between Minnesota and Pittsburgh. I don't want him. Like, I think the Giants were there for him because he wouldn't have to move, and it's another team in the ring.
Let's
You can't
assume
just
it's
have one team interested in you and then nothing happens.
let's assume it's Pittsburgh or Minnesota.
Yeah.
Let's just make that
Um,
assumption.
I mean, maybe if he wants to complete the Brett Favre arc, he'll want to go to Minnesota over Pittsburgh. But I think Pittsburgh has done a lot to make him want to go play for them. I mean, not a ton, but getting DK is pretty fucking huge.
Yeah, I mean, now the thing is, and this is not Mike Tomlin's fault at all, but I don't know how I don't know how well they would gel together in comparison to maybe like a rookie head coach, or excuse me, not rookie head coach, but
A young head coach,
a younger head coach.
Kevin
Um,
O'Connell.
and because it seems like someone like Kevin O'Connell. Maybe it's like, I don't know. You have the backing of this 14-win season with the low expectations. So it's like, you know you can look at Aaron Rodgers and almost be like, look, we're rocking with, we could rock with you, or we could just rock with our rook that tore his meniscus. Like, we don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, I think
it's really, yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
that's the big thing with Minnesota. Number one, I don't think they're gonna have a season like they did last year. I mean, with Rodgers or not, their defense was
uh,
huge for them. They won a lot of close games. If I was Minnesota, I don't know. I mean, I think I would rather take the rookie because you don't know what you're going to get out of Aaron. You don't know if you're going to get even 2 years out of him. You don't know how good this year is going to be. Um, but if you're the Steelers, I mean, you got to look at it like you're going to win 9 games regardless, maybe 10. Um, and then adding Aaron is a is a plus. You can win
okay, but
10 games with fucknuts Mason Rudolph.
yeah, but they're gonna rock with Russ if Aaron Rodgers decides to go
Russ is out
somewhere
here
else.
talking to the Browns and shit.
But here's the thing: yes, because he knows he's a second option at Pittsburgh. Like you said, you
Well, he
can't just have
knows
one
he's
team
gonna
interested in you,
leave,
Devin. He's talking
which
to
makes me think
Tennessee.
that Aaron's coming.
Look, here's the thing though: out of Pittsburgh, New York, and Minnesota's the one team that if it doesn't work out, they have another option.
Yeah,
They could. I mean, the thing is, you could roll with bro. You could roll with JJ, and it could work out, or maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't work out this season, all right, pressure's already on for y'all to have to, maybe question if this guy is good enough to play quarterback in the NFL,
yeah,
or you could bank on maybe a Jordan Love type of development where you're going to be able to sit behind Aaron Rodgers,
that's
and you got
true.
to sit behind a team that won 14 games last year. You got to see what winning looks like. You're going to get to see possibly get to see what more winning looks like with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Jordan Love, we're not going to sit here and act like we were. I mean, I was definitely wrong about him. I didn't think he was going to come out and, be a guy.
That's true.
Um,
But
so,
I,
I
I
mean,
want someone on the internet look up um, who Brett Favre's backup in Minnesota was. I have no idea. I doubt that person was good. Um,
sure, but I
I think the
mean,
latter end of Aaron's career, I don't know if that would benefit JJ in any way. I think JJ
but I
was
mean,
taken as a top prospect, and
so was
I don't
Jordan
know,
Love.
not out of Utah or wherever the fuck he's from. They weren't looked at the same by
Oh
any
yeah, the
means.
quarterbacks out of Michigan, they're QBU. They're just
Tom Brady,
producing. Yeah, they're just producing just every quarterback
just
possible.
everywhere, dude.
Get out of
Some
here.
guy named Brady, I think.
Get out of here. You didn't know who JJ McCarthy was until the fucking playoffs started. Either way,
Can't remember. Probably.
exactly.
I
Like, we're not
can't
going to sit
remember.
here and
No, I
act
did
like
know who he was because it was all fucking scandal bullshit.
no matter what, it wouldn't be a negative if he had to sit behind Aaron Rodgers opposed to what? I mean, he sat behind Sam Darnold for a year.
Yeah, you're right. Well,
He's gonna sit behind Aaron Rodgers for another year or two. He's still gonna get his shot.
he
It ain't
will.
Trey Lance. I mean, he's gonna get his shot. He's gonna get his
Yeah.
chance. So even
Trey
if
Lance had
they,
his shot. He had about 3/4.
even if it doesn't work out with, I mean, Aaron Rodgers in Minnesota, they had the best backup plan out of Pittsburgh. The Giants don't make a move for Aaron Rodgers. Well, then they're just gonna continue to tank for somebody else. I'm assuming. Um, I mean, I
I
saw
mean,
they had an
if they
interview with
don't
Joe
get Aaron, I
Flacco.
think they're probably gonna draft a quarterback.
Yeah, that that
And
is that as
I
well.
mean, yeah, I mean, they could tank next season voluntarily or involuntarily. Um, but yeah, I mean, they're not going to be any good. But even if the Giants have Aaron Rodgers, it's not going to be good at all. Like for me,
No,
there's
it would
no
be a
reason.
complete waste of time.
Like it would be the biggest waste of time. And
For sure.
honestly, I mean, Minnesota would be cool. You get to play with Justin Jefferson. You get to play with whoever the fuck else is on that team, Jordan Addison and whatever. But
I mean, physicality wise, it's a little bit of an easier division.
it
Like
is.
I know I get it. Like yes,
But
Detroit
you
is
also
good.
gotta face the narrative of playing the Packers twice a year,
Maybe he wants to
running the
play the
same,
Packers twice a
running the
year.
same exact uh, fucking whatever as Brett Favre. It's weird.
He might
Go be
want
a
to play the
Steeler.
Packers. He might want to play the Packers twice a year.
I know he's gonna get fucking smoked.
No, get all
If he
right,
plays like he did last year, he's getting smoked.
all
But
right,
that's
all
like, are
right.
we getting Aaron Rodgers from last year? Are we getting Aaron Rodgers from 4 years ago?
Okay, but 4 years ago. Okay, all right. Here's the thing, and I said this last episode in comparison to Sam Darnold. You got one guy who played one way one time his entire career and played one way the rest of his career. What's more likely to happen next season? Sam Darnold continues to play the way he did for one season,
True.
or Aaron Rodgers to play
Well,
or for both of them to go back to how they usually are, which Sam maybe falls back to mid and maybe not all the way back to what he originally was. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers goes out and shits the bed again.
no, I don't think Aaron shits the bed again. But I mean, I don't know. I think if it's so weird because he's old now.
I don't think you want to
Like,
get your hopes
like
up.
Tom never really had like a fall off in his older age
No,
and then
you're right.
bounce back from it. Aaron has to now bounce back from it at an old age.
See, but can we take age out of it and just talk just health?
Well, yeah,
Like
I
Aaron,
mean,
like Peyton Manning, like had 2 neck surgeries in one off season and then came back and threw for 5,000 yards. It's like I think Aaron
yes,
Rodgers is probably in better shape than Peyton Manning was in 2011.
yes,
Like probably.
yeah, but
So I mean, I
there's
don't
other
think
things
age
that,
has much to do with it. Like if
but
he still has it, obviously. He's still, no matter how bad he played, the man was still 40 years old taking those hits that the same 21-year-olds were taking. Like he's still
no,
able to play football.
agreed. But I mean, it's a matter of at what level. Um, but I don't think he's at the level of quarterback that is able to turn a struggling franchise around, like the Giants, like the Jets.
Okay, so Minnesota or
I
Pittsburgh.
but I think putting him into Pittsburgh, but I mean Minnesota, they had a great year. I mean, there's no talent. There's no like if Justin Jefferson gets injured, God forbid, their season's gone. If anyone, if more than one guy on that defense gets injured, they're cooked. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong.
I mean, yeah, you could say that about any team, though. I
No,
mean,
but the Steelers are built to have anybody at quarterback, and I think Aaron can kind of hide behind some of that and look good enough. Now, if Aaron is the quarterback, the first quarterback Mike Tomlin has that doesn't have a winning record, it's probably Aaron's fucking fault. Um, but no, I mean, I think Aaron's able to hide behind the fact that not Minnesota, Pittsburgh will be good regardless. And I would
Pittsburgh
rather him
will be
go there.
good
I don't
regardless.
think he needs the pressure of going to Minnesota and trying to turn a franchise around again.
I don't think Pittsburgh will be good regardless. Um, they're either
I
gonna
think
have
they'll
to.
win 9 games.
They're gonna have to with Russ or Aaron Rodgers. Anybody else, like you were saying, I mean Mason
Mason
Rudolph.
Rudolph
No,
probably not,
they're
but he's done it
probably gonna
before.
win 3 or 4 games.
He's done it
Eh,
before. After he
yeah,
got conked on the head, but he's done
I
it.
guess. But either way, I think we're gonna have to wait. Like, I mean, we're not gonna know. I mean, it's probably not gonna happen over the weekend. I'm assuming,
It could.
right? I mean,
I don't know.
I guess it
I
could,
would
but
like to be. I would like to hear these conversations. What if we're way off in these conversations? I
well,
think we are
no.
most of the time.
What do you, in terms of what, like
Like
what we think
the
he's
conversation that Aaron has to be having with his people has to be incredibly simple. It could be about fucking weather or fucking who he. I don't know. It could be about anything.
no,
Who has the
no,
best ayahuasca dealer and
no. There's definitely conversations of like what, like no. I think
you don't
it's
think it's
way
more
more.
simple? You think it's way
No, I
more
think that's what got him in this situation.
fair?
I think he's like really taking his time and is like, we're not making the same mistake.
Yeah, and then
I
he's
think
gonna go
that's
to
what
the
it is.
Browns.
No, honestly, and my prediction is he's probably gonna go on Pat McAfee's show and announce it on Tuesday, where he's going. That's
Probably.
probably what's gonna.
Fair.
It's probably what it's gonna be.
That's fair.
You want to talk about what they're talking about? It's probably, can I do my show with Pat? Can I do that on Tuesdays? Well, Minnesota said you can, but Pittsburgh said only on the. It's like, only if we win. It's like
Minne-
oh well.
I heard that Minnesota said that they could or whatever.
Well,
Wasn't I
Giants. I
talking
know
about
the
that?
Giants said that. The Giants said they
Or the
don't care,
Giants
but
said that. I don't
what
fucking.
do
That's so
they
dumb.
have to care about?
It's a fucking Zoom call basically on a
Yeah, but
Tuesday.
I could see a team like the Steelers not wanting you to just yap about how just yap about every and anything during the entire regular season, during the entire season. I mean, it's just Mike Tomlin might not be about that. I mean, he hated the Hard Knocks shit.
You're right.
So I just
They
it's the
couldn't
same
even
thing.
find a Hard Knocks. What is it now?
What it was
Hard Knocks
it was-
WNBA? Following Angel Reese through her.
Oh God.
Never
Okay. Demarcus Lawrence signs with Seattle, and we'll talk about Seattle. But what I want to talk about
Is that his name?
It is his name, but his
Okay.
little beef. I guess the little beef with Micah Parsons.
Yeah, I saw the video.
What now? I only saw the quotes.
Okay.
Read the quotes. What video did you see?
Well, it was he was doing like
Oh,
it was
of
like an
Demarcus
opening
Lawrence?
interview. Yeah, it was like it wasn't like it was like a in the practice facility interview with one of the media guys.
Yeah,
And
I actually did see that. I completely lied. I don't know why I did that.
yeah, you did or you didn't?
Yes, yeah. For some
Yeah.
reason, I'm like, I thought maybe you saw Micah responding, but yeah, no, he was in.
No, everything
in the,
else was over
in the
Twitter.
yeah.
Yeah.
He said, what was his statement? I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there.
Well, it
Is
was
what he
I
said about
love
Dallas.
Dallas. All my family's there.
Yeah,
Dallas is my
spent
shit.
what
but I know
11
for sure.
seasons there. He spent 11 seasons in Dallas,
Dang.
and now he's moving on. And then Micah responds and says, "This is what rejection and envy looks like. This is some clown shit."
Yes.
And then D-Law responds, "Calling me a clown won't change the fact that I told the truth. Maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left."
Sure.
Which
Micah is like in this situation, like the kid who defends their abusive father. But yeah, I don't know. I
Alright.
mean, it doesn't make any like. I guess Micah has to come out and say something, but I mean, I think Demarcus
No,
Lawrence
he
is
doesn't.
right.
No, I mean he
No,
doesn't
I
have
mean,
to come out and
I
say
feel like
that. No.
he feels like he has to defend his
Okay.
organization by saying some bullshit. But yeah, I mean, Demarcus Lawrence is right. I think he probably made the right decision. I mean,
See,
he
here's
could
the
have gone
thing.
anywhere and had a better chance of winning a Super Bowl.
There were like a couple things that were said that were right and a couple things that were said that were wrong. Yes, you were not going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas.
No.
Now, you could probably say the same exact thing about Seattle. So, to pretend like you went to Seattle strictly because you're like, this is where I know I'm winning a championship.
Exactly.
It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Chill. Now, see, that's where
Like
Micah...
if he went to Kansas City, say
yes.
any day of the week.
Now, here's the thing. Micah could have easily been like, them bum-ass Seahawks aren't winning no Super Bowl. Like, I don't know why.
Exactly.
Like,
turn it on them.
he could have easily said that shit. But at the same time, I mean, hate and envy, it's like, bro, he spent 11 years there. Like Micah Parsons...
he wasn't rejected from the team.
It's just going to be so funny 3 or 4 years from now, we're going to run this clip back when Micah Parsons wants out of Dallas.
Leaves, yes.
I mean, he's going to want out of Dallas because they're not winning enough. Because for right now, he's young. It's only his fourth year.
He's getting paid. He's doing a podcast.
Besides this year, going 12-5 and losing in the playoffs, that's good enough. We're winning games. You go 12-5
But
and
when
losing the
you're
playoffs.
32 years old or 30 years old, you're
Mm-hmm.
toward the end of your prime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're
I can
you're gonna
get that.
bounce.
I can get my last big contract. Yeah.
Yeah, and then now it's rejection and envy.
I'm envious and I'm rejected. It's like
Yes.
no, and that's the thing. For now, you go 12-5. You're 23, 24. You go 12-5 and losing the playoffs. You can just hit them with the, we're right there. Next season we just gotta lock in. We're gonna blah blah blah. It's like you can go on with that
The
shit for another
same
good
cowboy shit. Yeah.
6 or 7 years. Like I'm only really gonna give Lamar 2 or 3 more
Shit,
years to be like.
35 years.
I'm saying I'm only gonna give Lamar 2 or 3 more years to be like, I don't care about MVP. I just want a Super Bowl. It's like I
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
you.
for real.
I
Like
hear
no,
you.
that like when he was peaking in 2019, 2020, all that shit, all the big trust shit, and he was like, I'm just focused on the Super Bowl. I'm just this. I just want a Super Bowl ring. That's awesome. But now he's been in the
29.
league for 8 years.
Yeah. Now it's
Something's got to happen.
2025.
It's
So I mean,
2025. Something's got to happen.
it's a whole different league. But Micah will be
7 years?
Demarcus Lawrence in the future. He will be him in the future one day, asking to be out, asking
Yeah.
to go somewhere else, complaining, wanting to go win somewhere, and
But
we'll be
yeah, I
able to
mean,
look back on this. And
it it is funny that Demarcus Lawrence was like, I came here. He was like, I know I'm not going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas. And he is true in saying that. I guess he didn't say, I know I'm going to win one in Seattle. He just said, I knew I
well,
wasn't going to win one.
that would
I think his odds changed
insinuate.
from I know I'm not going to chances are low.
Well, I mean, it would insinuate that he's saying he made the move from a team that wouldn't win to a team that he thinks will win. But let's talk about Seattle. So we're talking so much
Yeah.
about DeMarcus Lawrence. Let's just transition into Seattle. So obviously, Seattle. Okay, so the Seattle Seahawks. I thought after the Geno trade, after the DK request, releasing Tyler Lockett, they're in full tank mode.
Tankery.
But then they make the DeMarcus Lawrence move. They make the Sam Darnold move.
Yep.
They signed Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. What the fuck's Cooper Kupp doing?
I'm starting to wonder. Oh, getting a bag.
Cooper Kupp's a free agent, and he went there. He didn't get traded.
A bag. It was a bag. That's what it was for.
How much did he get? I didn't see that.
It was something that the Rams definitely were not going to sign him for. But either way, it's got me thinking 3-year, $45 million. So it's got me thinking,
it's not even crazy. 15.
That's
top receivers make 30 plus.
Yeah, he hasn't been a top receiver in 4 years.
Still.
Either way, okay, but that's what I'm saying. It's Sam Darnold to Cooper Kupp. It's really nice when it's Matt Stafford to Cooper Kupp, even if he's injured. It's really nice if it's a Sam Darnold to Justin Jefferson. It could be a lot of people to Justin Jefferson. And some shit, 3rd and 1, it could be you to Justin Jefferson. You know what I mean? It's Justin Jefferson.
That'd be dope.
That's what I'm saying.
I wonder if I could complete a pass in the NFL. Probably not.
We're not gonna have that conversation, so it can be clipped, and then we look like fools.
We'll look like they're like, you think that you could throw a ball? No, I don't.
But it's like,
shut up.
Okay, all right.
But I could get
let's have
lucky,
the conversation. No, okay, let's have the conversation. You want me to simply break it down to can I complete a pass in the NFL? Yeah, well, I can throw a football. And then I'm going to have somebody run a little bubble screen. And I'm going to get that bitch out before. I mean, it's like.
For real.
I never said I'm Aaron. I never said I'm Aaron Rodgers. No. It's a quick hum. I'm right there with it. I'm getting it off and I'm going back to the sideline. I'm out of
He
there.
might get cracked 4 yards back, but that ball's going to go forward. And that'll be a completed pass.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? And even if he drops it, shit, it was my fault. I mean,
hit him in the tits.
Can I complete a pass? No. But can I throw one for someone to catch it? Probably.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not going to be good at it, but I can throw.
But if I have Justin Jefferson at receiver, probably have my odds go up.
Mm-hmm.
My odds go up. And if I got Matt Stafford throwing the ball to me, my odds go up.
First, you're trying to take Angel Reese's job. And now you're trying to take Aaron Rodgers' job.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's the problem, though.
Terrible.
That's the thing, though. One of those things is actually possible.
It's true.
You know, I could
These
take some
things are true.
estrogen. I could take some estrogen and go take a spot, and go take somebody's spot if I really wanted to.
There's a
But
lot of testosterone out there, bro.
there
I don't.
is,
I'm
there
not
is,
sure.
there
I
is,
think some of them might need to take some estrogen.
there is. Well, yeah. Well, no, I'm not gonna cut it
BG.
all out. I just got to go down a little bit.
BG's got
Um.
a deeper voice
Oh
than me.
yeah, yeah. It was all testosterone till. Never mind. I'm not even gonna. You see, you're gonna get me. You're gonna get me
Probably.
angry and acting up and on another WNBA rant. I'm not. I don't got the energy for that today, Devin. I don't. But the
No one
Seahawks.
does.
So they have this. We're talking about insinuating things. It's like these moves would insinuate that they're like trying to win.
Or trying to be average.
But for what? You were
fun.
average. You were average. Like y'all
Yeah.
were average. You were gonna be average next year with Gino and DK.
The whole time that they were keeping Gino and keeping the same core together and doing all this and doing all that, we knew they weren't going to fucking break off and go do something crazy. We knew they were going to be okay.
Well, they broke up a mid-team with chemistry to make a mid-team without chemistry.
We don't know that, but basically, I mean, yeah. There's
No.
I'm
saying, in terms of how much chemistry this team has, zero.
Yes.
I mean, this was a team that the Seahawks, if they went with that same core, we know what type of chemistry they have. At least it's enough to go out there and possibly win the NFC West, make the playoffs. But either way,
yeah.
I don't really get these moves because now it's like, all right, this offense, it's Sam, and then you're gonna have Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet in the backfield. You got JSN, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and then Cooper
They got
Kupp.
MVS?
Yeah, so they got JSN, MVS, Cooper Kupp, and Noah Fant at tight end. So it's like, all right, that's a super interesting. But like, here's the thing though. This would be like a really super interesting offense if they were like trying to recruit Aaron Rodgers.
Or trying to keep DK instead of going out and getting Cooper.
Keep DK and run it back with Gino. It's just I don't understand.
No, I wouldn't run it back with Gino, but I would.
But why sign Sam Darnold?
DK and.
I mean, Sam was in the running.
Sam was in the running to go to. Said, at this point, we don't know how good Aaron is. We don't know if Aaron's better than Sam Darnold right now.
Why are we still having the same conversation? We know that he's better than it. We know he's better than Sam Darnold.
Yes.
He's better than Sam Darnold. The chances of him I don't know. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the chances of Sam Darnold having another season like last year and Aaron Rodgers having the same season as last year, it's very low. I really don't see it happening. Unless Aaron Rodgers goes to the Giants and the Seahawks are just this Megatron defensive. Because, I mean, their defense wasn't too bad. They were 11th in passing yards, or they were 11th best in passing yards and passing touchdowns. They were a little mid when it came to everything else, rushing-wise and getting to the pressure-wise. They get the Demarcus Lawrence move, so they got plenty of artillery at the defensive line, so maybe they build up that pressure. They already have the pass defense, so the defense could be cool. But like I said, this is a mid-team that could win the NFC West. I mean, that's about it. But when you look at look at the moves the Rams were making, it's like I like the Rams. I like how the Rams are looking right now. I mean,
sure.
I don't know what the healthy 49ers are going to look like. So it's just I really don't know what the Seahawks have
we don't know
planned.
if the 49ers are going to be anywhere close to healthy,
but if they are healthy, them versus this Seattle team, it's not like we've turned a new page.
What's weird is that the Cardinals are still incredibly quiet. Are they going to be quiet forever?
Yeah, the Cardinals. Honestly, we talk about all these teams that need to move. I'll get them at Arizona.
Huh?
Like we talk about all these teams, like, we could move Jacksonville, we can move this team. We can move Arizona. We can move the Cardinals out of Arizona.
I think Arizona loves football, though.
I mean, I think
America, Cardinals fans, but
America loves football. But it's just like you can pull that trigger if you really wanted to move the Cardinals.
Where would we take the Cardinals? Will we take them south
I
or
was
north
thinking
for the
more
winter?
if they
North
were
for
to
the
go
summer.
international. If they were to go international,
Oh,
I was thinking more, because I think that's the next NFL move. If a team's moving, it's
the
out of the
the
country.
Cuban Cardinals.
They're, a te- a team's not moving. They're not staying in America if they move. I don't think there'll be another team that does that.
And that team's the Cancun Coyotes. Never mind. That's bad.
And it will probably be Jacksonville. Jacksonville will end up in the UK one day.
Jacksonville probably.
But all right. What I really was excited for today, I was about to call you episode. What I was really excited for today, Devin, for this episode, the main topic, the main course, I have a top 10 list that I wanted to discuss with you, make with
The
you.
shrimp and grits.
We're going to come up with a top 10 list for the best NFL free agency moves of all time. We've had all these free agency conversations, all these moves going on. So it made me start thinking, like, one day, and I know this sounds like a very fake, like, intro to this this top 10 list, but I truly was thinking, like, all these free agent moves, and I thought about, like, Tom Brady, doing what he did in Tampa. It's like, let me look up, the best actual free agency moves of all time. And when I looked at it, it's like, damn, because you got to consider, maybe people that spent just a couple years here and then blossom somewhere else, or undrafted free agents, or just, certain players. So I got about 15. There could be more if you wanted to consider, but these are probably I had about 25. I cut it down to probably the 15 that I thought we probably would consider. Everybody else would probably just throw away. Order? We were going to put this in order, 1 through 10, the top 10 best free agency moves, and, the outcome of
I can only
move.
count up to 6.
And that's what we're going to base it off of, what transpired from that move. And if this is good, maybe in the future we can do top 10 worst. I'm considering looking into some of the best free agency moves in the NBA. There's a lot of free agency moves that we could
I was
discuss.
Speaking of not being able to count, I was pumping gas the other day, and I finished pumping gas. I put the thing back in the thing and whatever. I turn around and go on my fucking stinky way, and the guy pokes his head around the thing on the same pump or whatever, pokes his head around the pump, and he goes, "Excuse me." It's like a dude who's probably a little bit older than me or whatever, short white dude. He goes, I don't know how to make it go. I go, how to make what go? He goes, I can't make it go. And he's like, I tried to scan the code, and it didn't work. And I was like, dude, I don't know how to help you pay for gas. But yeah, speaking of not being able to count, he came up to me.
You didn't help him?
Well, you had to. I told him to just fucking ask the attendant. Because he was like in an app. He was in the app, scanned it. But he wasn't mentally challenged. But he was in the app and he scanned it.
It's not what I said. Was he old?
No, he was a little bit older than me. He was young. And he came up to me and he said, I don't know how to make it go. I said, what are you talking about? He said, I scanned it. And he scans it. And then he goes like this. It just shows me his phone. I was like, the fuck?
Why didn't you just help him? Why didn't you just help him out?
Because I was like, I don't know how to do it. I don't scan my phone to pay for gas. And he goes, I can't make it go.
Maybe he's just trying to get like a Wawa or 7-Eleven like coupon rewards or something.
This is at a Sam's Club.
Okay, he's trying to get his Sam's Club card right.
But yeah, and I was like, I don't. He said, how do you make it go? I said, I think you pay for the gas and then you make it go.
Do you not need the club membership card to get gas?
You do. So I asked him, I was like, do you have the card? And he goes, not on me. And he goes, but it tells me to scan the thing. And then he scanned it and he goes like this. I can't make it go. And I go, ask the fucking attendant. I don't know.
If any of you guys are out there and you see Devin in public, don't ask him for help. Because
I did laugh as I walked. I was trying to be nice to him.
Go ask the fucking attendant. I don't know.
I wasn't yelling at him, but I was like, please figure this out on your own. You're an adult.
Leave me alone. You were about to say, leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
But no, it was
That's what
more
you
of
wanted
like,
to say.
I get like people asking for help about things or whatever, but
Oh.
learn how to pump your own gas. That would be.
That was the day, bro. You teach a man how to catch a fish, he
Now,
feed himself forever.
if this is not a young dude, if this is an old woman or an old dude or whatever, sure, I'll help. I'll try to figure
Oh,
things
so
out. But
okay.
also, there's an attendant there for a reason, not your friendly fucking neighbor. Fuck you.
I've also never pumped gas at Sam's Club. Is there like a Chick-fil-A like drive-through worker there, like helping people pump gas? What are you talking
There's
about?
always an attendant. Like in the
Wow.
there's a little like den. But it's the
Okay.
same thing
All
as like
right.
if you're at a gas station, the person inside knows how to figure out the fucking gas.
Mm.
Never mind.
I don't
All
think
right,
so.
well then
I'm
there's a
not gonna
fucking
lie,
Indian
Devin.
dude in the back who can fucking yell at you and tell you how to pump gas.
Maybe. Well, that's you. That's literally you. You're the Indian guy that was supposed to help him at the gas station. The Indian guy at the gas station doesn't help the guy figure out how to pump gas, and you're over here
Dude,
saying that's insane.
that was the first time I've ever thought about that.
He
I've been
probably
thinking the
thought,
whole time. I forget I'm Indian all the time.
dude, he saw you and was like, "This guy knows. Like this
Damn.
guy knows how to pump gas."
Is that why
This
people talk to me
guy,
at the gas station all the time?
dude, you all right?
Damn.
See, that's what it is. They thought you worked. They thought you owned the place.
They thought I
I
was
don't,
tech support.
wow. All right. Let's
Bro.
let's talk about some of the best free agency moves in NFL history.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna run through some. Maybe you even forgot some of these players were free agency moves or you were like, oh, that wasn't a trade. I forgot that even. We're gonna talk about some.
I
So
probably forgot about most of this.
whoa, we getting dinged around here. I don't know.
Ding for what?
I got computers going off and stuff. But all right, top 10 best free agency moves of all time. We'll start with the obvious one that probably made me think of this, which was Tom Brady to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020.
Yeah.
So the stats that I got to really back up these moves. So he was there for 3 years. Threw for over 14.6 thousand yards, 108 touchdowns, 33 interceptions, went 32-18. Won that Super Bowl in 2020. Had that in 2020 that 5,316 yard year, which was the most in his career at what, like 41, 42 years old, however old he was.
What,
40.
in Tampa?
Yeah, he threw for
Tom was like
5,316 yards.
44.
Okay, yeah. However old he was, bro was throwing for 5,000, the most in his career. Threw for 43 touchdowns a year as well, the second most besides the 50 touchdown.
I think
year.
Tom was 40 in 2017 when he won MVP.
All right, there you go. So
Yeah.
40. So okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
44, yeah.
And Super Bowl MVP, but not the biggest thing, but another thing that I think definitely you can say about at least this move, if not more of these moves. I mean, if you can back it up, I don't know if we had this Tampa team today without this Tom Brady
wouldn't.
move. For instance,
we
like
wouldn't.
I don't know if Mike.
I
Evans,
don't think Mike and Chris would have stayed.
they don't
Hell.
stay around, and then they have the draw to bring in somebody else, stick around after Brady leaves.
That defense wouldn't have been anywhere near as good.
Yeah,
or some of those pieces wouldn't have stayed.
Exactly, and I just don't think we have that team today.
No.
Maybe that's a little bit of recency bias, but I think
that's a smaller aspect of how big the move was, but it's still pretty impactful.
Is it a smaller? I mean, really
compared
think
to
about
a Super Bowl win, a little bit, yeah.
Well, no, for sure. But to continue to at least have a better chance at success,
to leave the organization in a good spot, if not a better spot,
compared to how he left New England.
Exactly.
Look at how he left New England. It's like,
New England.
exactly.
That wasn't gonna. Yeah, no.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he definitely didn't leave New England. Like, you guys good?
No,
Y'all like, bro left. He got
he
out of
said I'm
there.
out.
I mean, it
Yes,
was
they
Baltimore when
wanted
they
him
went to
gone too, though.
Indianapolis.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna say it's definitely. I don't know where it's gonna be yet. It's absolutely making this top 10 list, though. I think it's gonna be hard to not
you're gonna have
even.
to
Well,
convince me to not put this
all right, okay. How
certain
about
places.
someone that signed with the Rams in 1998?
Kurt Wiener
Mr. Kurt Warner
from the CFL.
played there for 6 years, 14.4 thousand yards, so 200 less yards than what Brady put up with Tampa. 102 touchdowns to 65 interceptions, went 35-15, won 2 MVPs, went 1-1 in his Super Bowl appearances, and
Lost the time.
Was a Super Bowl MVP.
Yes,
Um, I mean, obviously, Kurt Warner to the Rams. That was Kurt Warner's. I mean, what prime, or that was the
that
start
was
of
Kurt's
his
prime.
career. That was the start of Kirk's career. The start of his legacy. That was that was the greatest show on turf. I mean, it was
Sure.
bro was a part of that. As much as they want to talk about Marshall and what he was able to do and just all the
Isaac
weapons he had around
Bruce,
him.
and then we forgot. No, Torrey Holt. Torrey
There
Holt
you
and Isaac
go.
Bruce. Isaac Bruce was the name we couldn't remember.
Um, I now here's the thing though, off the bat, like, is it too glazing to say like it's not as impressive as being like 40 and going to Tampa and winning a Super
It's not.
Bowl and throwing for like
No,
it's
I mean
great.
it's
Like what he did like is really impressive. It's definitely gonna make the list. I mean,
I
won
mean
two
the
MVPs.
two MVPs is big. Um, but I mean, if we look at that team, that's some of the. I mean, that was the prime of some of the best offensive players of that era.
But
That
then
was
you have,
Marshall
I mean,
Falk winning multiple Opoys. That was both those receivers going dummy.
and it's double the length of time there. He was there for 6 years. Still threw for less touchdowns, less
Yeah,
yards. Only won 3 more games. I mean, it's not. It's cool. It's cool. It's great. It's obviously the first half of his career, but I mean it's. I don't think it's what Brady did. I don't think it's the Brady move to Tampa.
but I
I don't think
mean,
it'd be
when we
that.
look at free agency moves, and it's a little bit about the move itself.
Okay.
Like Brady's coming from the best career of all time, maybe three of the best careers of all time, or two of them, and then into his third or fourth career,
Mm-hmm.
into uncharted territory with a random team and all the way fucking down south. Not a lot to work with. I mean, good receiving core, whatever, but he brought a lot of that team with him. He
Mm-hmm.
brought a lot of that offense. He made it a hub for some of that defense. Um, Kurt, he was a fucking grocery bagger.
Yeah.
Got picked up and
But I
played well.
mean, I don't know,
It's
bro. The
cool.
way you just said it, it's like you got the GOAT who went on to do more GOAT shit, and you got a guy who got left a grocery store and won 2 MVPs.
Yeah, but I think Tom's is still more impressive.
I agree, but how about something like this? So I told you there's gonna be different types of free agency moves, different types of scenarios. How about somebody who left, got signed somewhere else, and made his entire Hall of Fame career after he left the Chargers, and that's Drew Brees in
Drew Brees, yeah,
2006 when he signed
huge.
with New
That was a
Orleans. I
free
mean,
agency.
that was a
Here,
free
here we are.
agency
Not,
move.
not a trade. Yeah.
That was a free agency move.
Damn.
68,000 total yards with the Saints.
Yep.
491 touchdowns. Doesn't even matter how many interceptions he threw. I didn't even write it down. 142 wins, 12 Pro Bowls, 2 Opoys, a Super Bowl MVP next to, obviously, the Super Bowl to win. 15
Mm.
years. Now, here's the big thing about Drew Brees not winning MVPs. Let me tell you the 4 years he came in second place to MVP.
Yep.
2006,
Yep.
which was the legendary
LT.
LT year, which it's
28
like
touchdowns.
how do you beat 31? It's
28
like
rushing.
oh yeah, 28 rushing, but it's like how do you beat that? It's like sorry, Drew.
Yeah.
Um
And that was coming off
09,
Sean Alexander's MVP. So the running back era is there.
'09 was a Brady year, which Drew Brees versus Tom Brady, whatever.
No, 09
It
was
was.
Brady or
'09 was a Brady year because he went on to lose in the '09 was a
no
Brady
that
year. I can fact check it for you.
or was it Manning?
2009.
No, you're right. It was
NFL
07.
MVP.
Then it was ACL tear. Then it was comeback MVP.
Oh, okay. No. Okay, yeah, no. 2009 was
Manning?
Peyton Manning. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Manning '09, 2010,
Brady 10.
then 2011.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, his first MVP. So Drew Brees to beat that out, and then the last time Drew Brees came in second place,
2018. Yeah, 5,000 yards.
Yeah, 5,050 from 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards from Mahomes. So, the 4 years he came in, especially '06 and 2018.
But he also had a ton of other years where he was 4,000 yards, however many touchdowns.
I'm just gonna say this: we hyped up Brady, we hyped up Kurt, but in just terms of best free agency moves, this has to be number one.
No.
I'm telling you right now, we're not finding somebody else.
There is not a move.
This legendary of a Hall of Fame career, we're gonna have other Hall of Fame careers in here. But this level,
coming from a team that, it's cool that Kurt had his little run there, but yeah, Drew Brees had built basically not a Super Bowl winning dynasty, but a NFC South dynasty. For what it's worth.
He built his Hall of Fame career.
He built the Saints basically.
His entire Hall of Fame
off of being told when he was a Charger that he should not play football. Gets picked up. It would be like if Sam Darnold got picked up after his third year and then
becomes a Hall of Famer.
Is second in every fucking category behind Tom Brady.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Brees, everything after this free agency move was all Hall of Fame bound. That's just what it was. All right. Another quarterback.
People don't talk about it. He didn't have a Randy Moss. He didn't have the biggest names.
Yeah. He had that.
He had Marcus Colston.
He had his Jimmy Graham. He had his
Reggie
Jimmy Graham.
Bush.
He did have his Jimmy Graham. We're probably blanking on a name or two, to be completely honest.
We're blanking on a bunch, but still.
We probably are.
Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas in his prime.
Yeah, a year or two. It's funny to forget Michael Thomas, but it's also like Drew Brees started in 2006. It's like
agreed.
He definitely had plenty of Hall of Fame stats before Michael Thomas got drafted. Another quarterback, Peyton Manning, 2012.
Yep.
After almost retiring, like I said earlier, 2 neck surgeries in 2011. Mm-hmm. He was very close to retirement. Decided to go play with Denver for 4 years. Threw for 17,000 yards, for 140 touchdowns to 53 interceptions. Went 45-12. Had an MVP season with 5,477 yards and 37 touchdowns. You're absolutely right. Fucking 55 touchdowns.
55
next
touchdowns.
To his 5,000 yard year. The man went crazy. Now, the thing about this was I wanted to go back and make sure he was there for the playoff run in that Super Bowl for Super Bowl 50. He went 7-2, and then Brock Osweiler finished the regular season 5-2. Had a great team around him that last year. I'm not giving too much credit to Bro for Super Bowl 50, if any.
No. But again, it's kind of like he was the reason that team was there. That team was put together.
But it's also like one of the greatest defenses of all time, and also a very good offense.
Agreed.
With or without.
But
Peyton Manning.
I think Peyton is the
Brock
reason, or one of the reasons that people bought in.
Brock went 5-2. Brock went 5-2, and who knows what
Brock
would
did
happen
go
in the playoffs.
5-2.
Brock was having his year, his Nick Foles
And
year.
Peyton got carried, but the year before that, or what, 2 years before that, he was an MVP, made a Super Bowl after uh, basically no one. I don't know.
Like
Basically, his career over.
as of right now, I'd say Breeze won, and then I still got Manning and Brady over Kurt. Brady and
Yeah,
Manning,
but
I got there's some comparing to do, and some
yeah,
talking about. But I think both of them, especially including the age thing. I mean, and just where they were in their career compared to Kurt. I think they
no,
have
I
the
agree.
edge. All right. I think moving on from quarterbacks for a little bit. Yes, we are moving on from quarterbacks. So the biggest free agency move, the first year free agency was a thing. Devin, what was the first year free agency?
87.
1993.
Hey, I had no idea.
1993, which is funny because we have years before this.
Mm-hmm.
Because like this was the first year of free agency, but this wasn't the first year someone's been signed as a free agent.
Been signed by a team. Yeah.
Either way,
This has a name now.
Reggie White.
Reggie White.
1993 goes
What was his
on.
name? The Minister of Defense.
Yes, the Minister
Nice.
of Defense. Yeah. Goes over to the Packers. 68.5 sacks, 6-time Pro Bowler, and Super Bowl 31 win. Had 3 sacks in that Super Bowl. But, when it comes to, like, biggest names or just, like, what happened after a free agency move, this is definitely up there.
Yeah.
But the problem is,
So where was he coming from again?
Where did bro come from? Philly. Philly.
Yes, he was an
Philly.
Eagle.
Philly. He came over from Philly. But the problem is we're comparing like Hall of Fame quarterback careers to this.
Yeah.
So it definitely is going to fall a little low on this list. But I really want to see, like, okay, comparing it to some other defensive players. We got Deion Sanders in 1994. He signed with San Francisco. In 94, he signed with the 49ers.
From the Bulls.
He played there for 1 year.
Mm.
1 season with the Niners, Devin. He won Defensive Player of the Year. His only Defensive Player of the Year.
Deion has one depoy?
He has 1 depoy. His only Defensive Player of the Year was with the Niners in 94. Had 6 interceptions, which was his second most in a season. Had 300 yards in interception return yards, which was double the most he's ever had in a season. Had 3 touchdowns returned for touchdowns, which was the most he's ever had in a season. And helped the Niners win the Super Bowl that year. You could also compare that to the 1995 free agency move by Deion Sanders when he signed with the Cowboys. Played there for 5 years, won a Super Bowl with them, caught 14 interceptions, returned those 14 interceptions for 2 touchdowns and 273 yards, and made 4 Pro Bowls. Those are 2 big free agency moves right there.
Dallas?
Mm-hmm. One with both.
Yeah.
It was actually 94 and then 95.
Yeah.
That's when he won his 2 Super Bowls. But
Good for him.
I think both of those are in contention. Now, if I'm comparing the 2, I mean, the 1 year winning your depoy, winning a Super Bowl, pretty much having the best statistic career, like the statistic, your best year statistically.
Yeah.
I mean, what he did in Dallas, 4 Pro Bowls, 14 interceptions. I mean, it's definitely impressive, but I think that 94 might have the edge on the 95 at least.
Yeah. Was that one of Steve
year.
Young years too?
Yes. It was Steve Young.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's like, but both teams were still in their run. It's like, you can't really use, the Niners were nice. It's like, well, so were the Cowboys,
Yeah, I didn't realize they called him prime time for hopping into franchises primes and stealing their
that's
thunder.
exactly what.
But
bro
it
did.
is cool. Like when you do look back at those Super Bowls, no one's like, yeah, it's because Deion was there. It's like
you're right.
No one does that, which I'm very glad that no one does.
But when we look at just impact, he showed up for 1 year and was the.
I think showing up to San Fran for 1 year, winning depoy, it's pretty sick.
How about Chris Carter?
6'7".
Chris Carter in 1990.
I hope he's not 6'7".
signed with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
Obviously, played there for 11 seasons,
Also,
12.4.
a forgotten career a little bit. He was a
Is
dog.
it forgotten? He's on TV enough to remind us.
That's true.
I feel like bro reminds us all the time about his career and
That is
what he
true. Well, and
did.
I think that's why I guess people are tired of it. Whatever.
Over 12,000 receiving yards, had 110 touchdown receptions, or receiving touchdowns, and a little over 1,000 receptions. I think out of receivers, we're not going to find a better free agency move. Yeah, this is probably going to be the best one out of all receivers. I mean, this
Randy
is
Moss traded.
basically, yeah.
Randy Moss was traded from the Raiders. Yes.
But I mean, this is almost
What
like a
about
Drew.
Antonio Brown to the Patriots?
Absolutely not. This is almost like, I mean, Chris Carter to the Vikings. I mean, that's almost like Drew to the Saints. I mean, he went there and made his career.
Made a
That
Hall of
was
Fame
his.
career.
That was his career. I mean, that was his Hall of Fame career right there. Chris Carter to the Vikings in 1990. I got a guy who was a free agent before signing
I
with
got a name.
the Washington Redskins.
Can I guess?
Sure.
You said he was a what?
He signed with the Washington Redskins.
What was he before that?
I
Bum.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh,
It's John Riggins, 1976. It's John Riggins. Played for
Johnny
Washington
Riggs.
for 9 years. Over 7,400 total rushing yards, 79 touchdowns, 3.8 yards per carry. Super Bowl
Super
17 MVP, and was 1-1 in his Super Bowl appearances. Devin, I
Who
mean,
did we lose to?
y'all lost to
The Dolphins?
Fuck, dude.
No, the Raiders.
I
Marcus
was about
Allen.
to say, I don't know how I ain't fact checking that one, so I'm glad you remembered.
I can't remember. I think that's it. I don't know.
But I mean, John Riggins, 76. It's a move. I mean,
So we
over
won in
7,000
'83.
yards, almost 80 rushing touchdowns, Super Bowl MVP. I don't know how it's going to stack up, but I think
Probably not great.
We'll have
And
to
I
come
don't really
back to
care.
it. We'll have to come back to that Riggins.
I mean,
line.
it's a cool move. Riggins was a big part of our early success, or the beginning of our successful runs.
It was really down between Riggins and Doug, for free
Doug
agency. But
was a
yeah,
year.
but I mean, Riggins came in and really was a Washington legend. By the time he left, so he's up there. He's up there. Charles Woodson, 2006. When he signed with the Packers, they were the only team to give him a contract offer.
Yes.
The only team to offer him a contract in 2006. He went on to play 7 years, won 2009 Defensive Player of the Year, had 38 interceptions, returned 9 of those for touchdowns, obviously was a Super Bowl champion with the Packers, and made 4 Pro Bowls.
Did he get hurt in that game?
I believe so. I believe he messed his shoulder up in that game.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if it was before or during the game.
7 years, 38 interceptions, Defensive Player of the Year, 9 touchdowns, 4 Pro Bowls. I mean, that's. I got that over Prime.
I've got that over Prime.
I think
both of those years, no? I mean, both of those moves from Prime.
I got it over Prime, and do you have it over? Do you hold that over what Reggie White did in Green Bay? What Reggie White did in Green Bay, I guess. Yeah, both Green Bay.
I don't know.
I probably
How many depoys did Reg have?
That's a great
Just 2,
question.
no? 1 or 2?
Why do I not have that up there? That's a great question. I mean, 1998 he was named depoy for the second time in his career. I don't know when. I'd like to see the first time he was named.
Probably with the Eagles.
Either way, I think maybe I have him still a little bit over Charles.
Close though.
It is close. Now someone that I wanted to throw in here. I don't know if he's gonna make the top 10
Both
list.
Super Bowl champs though.
Both Super Bowl champs, but someone that I have to throw in here, another Super Bowl champ, and it's honestly because it's probably gonna make the list eventually. Saquon.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that might be over some of these current people, you know?
I mean,
That could be top 10 already. We're looking at one of the best running back seasons of all time. I mean, the only thing he missed out on was like being active in the Super Bowl, winning a
or
Super Bowl
what
MVP.
beating the record, the rushing record.
Yeah,
I
which
mean that's about it.
is a
2,000 yards,
which
13
he
touchdowns.
would have done had they not been 15-2,
I
14 and
mean,
whatever, 15-2, whatever. I don't know.
just your first season there, you rush for 2,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. You win the Super Bowl. You're the offensive player of the year. You're first team All Pro. You're the Pro Bowl. You're a Pro Bowl. I mean, he did everything. He checked
Everything
off every single box. I mean, he could walk
for
away, and the Eagles could not be mad at him.
yeah.
So he might. I don't know. He might. I don't know. We'll see. We'll
I
see.
mean
We'll see.
that's better than. I mean, not that's still better than like Dion going to the Niners.
It is. It is. All right.
But at the same, but I don't know. It's weird. It's like the Eagles still would have been very good.
I think you really look at it like nothing could change how great the move already was.
Yeah,
They've already gotten everything they've needed out of some of these people who were here for what, 6 years, 3 years, 4 years. I mean, Bros has been there for one,
it's
and it's
everything.
been a staple. Is a staple already. Rod Woodson, 1998, signing with the Baltimore Ravens, played there for 4 years, had 20 interceptions, returned 5 of those for touchdowns, was a 3-time Pro Bowler, a 2000 Ravens defensive anchor, obviously a Super Bowl champion. Biggest thing about this, he was old. Bro was a little washed. Didn't know how much didn't know how much he had left in the tank. Signed
Yeah,
with the Ravens. Actually made the move from corner to safety, and was able to in his
shout out
twilight
Marlon
years
Humphrey.
come out. Yeah, Marlon needs to maybe take some advice. 20 picks, 5 touchdowns. I don't think it makes the list. If it
No,
does, it's
but
high or low,
yeah, low,
low on the list. But
high, low.
we might have to come back to that once we start actually ranking them. Tony Romo, 2004,
Always a forget, but yeah, undrafted
Dallas
free agent.
Cowboys, 13 years as the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, 248 touchdowns, 177 interceptions, 4 Pro Bowls, 34,000 yards. I mean, I don't know. When you compare him to these other quarterbacks, it's like, yeah, even your entire career doesn't really
Even
touch
it doesn't touch Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner's like first 6 years, Brady's last 3, Peyton's last 4.
Honestly, it was Kurt Warner's like first fucking 3 years, basically.
I mean, we have Drew Brees' entire Hall of Fame career in this conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
there ain't much room for Romo.
no, like uh, Tony Romo is the Diet Pepsi of Drew Brees. It's like everything that Tony Romo wanted to be is Drew Brees,
Yes, okay,
except
yeah,
for
I can
5 foot
take
9.
that. There ain't no room for Romo in this list. I might have to say that. Do you know who was a free agent? Was released by the Steelers and signed by the Baltimore Colts in 1956.
Junior Hernandez.
Johnny Unitas spent
Johnny Unitas was a
17
free agent.
years as a Colt, throwing for 39.8 thousand yards, 287 touchdowns, a whopping 246 interceptions. 10-time Pro Bowler, 3 MVPs, 1-1 in Super Bowls, and played way back in a time where he was able to snag 3 NFL championships.
Yes.
Um,
Plus a Super Bowl.
I mean, it's Johnny Unitas. I mean, the man threw for more yards in the 50s and 60s than Tony Romo did.
For real?
Championships,
Pretty sick.
Super Bowl, MVPs. Definitely beats out Romo. I will tell you that.
Romo's gone.
Romo is definitely gone. I knew he'd be gone, especially after naming 1956 free agency move. That was better.
Yeah, I did not know that the Johnny U was a free agent.
Johnny U was a free agent.
A signed athlete, or whatever you
signed
would call
athlete,
him
whatever you want to call it. But here we go. The last free agent I have.
A loose lady.
the last free agent I have for this list, Devin. Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates was free. Let me guess where he
Antonio
was from.
Gates.
Can't remember.
Where he was from? He was an undrafted free agent.
He was undrafted free agent.
He was undrafted free agent.
Nice.
2003, spent
You're
16 years as a Charger, Devin. 16 years as a Charger. 11.8 thousand yards, fourth all-time by tight ends. Has the most touchdowns all-time by a tight end with 116. Was an 8-time Pro Bowler. One of the best tight ends of all time.
It's a Hall of Fame.
Let's
Is
rank
he Hall
this
of Famer
list.
yet? Is he the greatest undrafted free agent of all time?
Is Antonio Gates a Hall of Famer? The
I
best.
think he got in this year, right?
Yeah, this year.
Sweet.
This year. Yeah. Okay, yeah. There you go. Okay,
Antonio Gates is the greatest undrafted free agent of all time.
but is it the best free agency move of all time?
I think that's top 10. I think that's deserving of top 10.
It's top 10. It's not number 1.
Fuck ass no. No, but
Breeze
I
is
know
number 1.
I think he's the greatest undrafted free agent plus a top 5 tight end of all time.
Okay.
But
maybe it's just because it's late and I'm tired, but
when we look at changing franchises and winning Super Bowls and all that certain shit,
his quarterbacks are going to have the edge. So let's actually rank them. Let's put them in a list. I think Breeze is number 1.
Quarterbacks edge them? Do they edge?
Quarterbacks absolutely do. I think Breeze is number 1. I don't think there's really a question for that. Now, I guess the question
Breeze
I do have
one.
is, are the next 2 or 3 or 4 also quarterbacks?
I think it has to be Brady Manning next, which I'm not sure what order you're thinking, but
So Brady's 3 years in Tampa, Manning's 12 years, or Manning's 4 years in Denver over Antonio Gates' whole career, over Unitas' full career, over Chris Carter's full career. That's what you want.
it sucks saying that.
I mean
Unitas is cool. It was such a long time ago that it pains me to put someone that high.
I can agree with you. I just wanted to ask that question. I just wanted to see, if
But
that,
no, I mean,
that would change
it does
anything.
sound weird when you go, Chris
but I
Carter
think
spent the full career.
if you go Brady Manning, then I think you got to go Kurt.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner, 1998, number 4, which leaves us with 6 spots left. And I think the 6 that we obviously have to consider, you got Antonio Gates, all right? You got Antonio Gates. You got Reggie White. You got Chris Carter. I would say that Charles Woodson is in the mix. I would say even Saquon. I would have to throw Unitas in that mix. And then I would have to throw 94 Prime in that mix.
Yep.
Where are we going with this? Where are we going? What are we thinking? I'm thinking out of all of these, Chris Carter, Charles Woodson, Reggie White. Reggie White, 93. Is it White? Is it Reggie White and then Charles?
I think it's Reggie Charles.
Charles 06? Okay. I'm not mad at that. Charles 06.
What are we at now?
We're at number 7 right now. We're deciding who's going to sit at number 7. Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates, Chris Carter.
But does Gates... I think Gates over Chris Carter.
I think Gates beats out Carter. And if we're looking at Carter, we're comparing Carter to... Carter obviously beats out Prime's 1 year or 5 years. Sadly, does he beat out Saquon's 1 year? Is that a stupid question?
Chris Carter?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say yes for the hell of it, but there's an argument to be made. I'm sorry. There's an argument to be made.
If we have this conversation next year, even if Saquon doesn't play that great or whatever the fuck happens, the more that this ages, the more insane it's gonna seem.
So I put Carter at 8. Chris Carter at 8. So that leaves 2 spots left. So we're looking at Saquon, Johnny Unitas, Deion Sanders, 94 and 95. What are we thinking
I
here?
think you kind of got to put Unitas in there,
Okay.
just from the aspect of winning, the fact that he
Okay.
was a free agent, and I had never even heard of that.
God. Does it beat out Saquon? Does Unitas' full career beat out Saquon's 2024 season?
I think so.
All right. So does
But
that mean
I'm going to be honest,
Saquon?
I do think Saquon beats out Prime.
Yeah, I think
Prime didn't break no records, or Prime wasn't 100 yards away from beating a record.
I think Saquon makes the list, Devin. I think he
I
does.
mean, Saquon definitely, and honestly, in hindsight, should have gone for the record.
Yeah.
But at the same
That'd just
time,
be the
had he
cherry
been
on top.
injured, huh?
That would just be the cherry on top, though.
I mean, that would have been the greatest non-quarterback season of all time. One of them.
I don't know about that.
Maybe that was stupid.
No, I mean, I won't say it's stupid, but
I mean, but one of them.
One of the most impressive running back seasons for a running
Oh
back.
yes, of course.
Non quarterback. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's up there. But all right,
We would have to look.
The top 10 best free agency moves of all time, or the top 10 best the top 10 best pickups in NFL history, whatever you want to call it. We got Saquon Barkley at number 10 in 2024 to the Eagles. Johnny Unitas in 1956 to the Baltimore Colts. Chris Carter in 1990 to the Vikings. Antonio Gates in 2003 to the Chargers. Charles Woodson in 2006 to the Packers. Reggie White in 93 to the Packers. Kurt Warner in 98 to the Rams. Peyton Manning in 2012 to the Broncos. Tom Brady in 2020 to the Buccaneers. Drew Brees in 2006 to the Saints.
This is the only list where it goes Breeze, Brady.
Breeze, Brady. That's the only time you're gonna have Breeze over Brady. That's about it. But I like that list. I liked it because I did forget that certain people were free agents and certain people, didn't get traded or were unsigned or undrafted.
Also, Deion fans, tell us why. Just kidding. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you.
Yeah, tell us why Deion deserves to make the list. Which also
fuck Deion, dude.
Deion, I mean, the more also, I did like
the more I did research like 5-6 years ago. The more you look into that shit,
bro, the more you look at Deion's
some
career,
flash and some prime and some
absolutely.
He
definitely wasn't no return man. I'm gonna tell you that for sure. Absolutely was not no return man. And when it comes to
for real wasn't a ball hawk like that.
And honestly, probably get his ass cooked if he had to play today.
Mushed.
You just.
But I mean, even if he wasn't getting cooked, it's like he wouldn't be viewed the same. Corners don't get looked at the same.
Just the way DBs are allowed to play compared to now, or were allowed to play compared to now. It's just he was getting. There's no way. I don't care how fast. I don't care how fast you can run 40 yards.
For real.
But no, I like the list. Top 10 best moves in NFL history. I got some athletes for you to guess.
Sweet.
I got some athletes for you to guess.
I hope it's none of the people we just talked about.
I won't answer that because, what's the fun in giving you any help?
Agreed.
But I'll say, probably not.
Probably.
All right. So you know how it goes. 5 facts for these 3 different athletes. All right. This first player. This receiver threw his first passing touchdown before catching his first receiving touchdown.
Mohamed Sanu.
Wow. First fucking clue.
Are you joking?
I'm dead serious. It's Mohamed Sanu.
Dude, let's fucking go. When you said receiver throwing a touchdown immediately went to Mohamed Sanu as a Bengal. No,
As a lot because he was he has the
he was a
second
Falcon.
most passing touchdowns by a wide receiver.
Yeah,
Played for 5 different teams.
I did not
Uh,
know that. That would have thrown me off.
he has thrown a touchdown to 2 different Pro Bowl quarterbacks and 2 different Pro Bowl wide receivers.
Beautiful.
He was drafted in 2012 before T.Y. Hilton.
You said before?
Before T.Y. Hilton, yeah.
Yes. Okay,
Before
gotcha.
T.Y. Hilton. But all right, yeah. Okay. All right.
Sick.
My bad.
He was drafted as a Bengal, no?
Yes, he was drafted as a
Okay.
Bengal.
Because that's when he started slinging that bitch. Yeah.
All
Sorry.
right.
Yeah. I had to. You said it, and I had to let it fly.
Take it and run with it. This next player, Devin. This player had the most. Okay, let's restart. This player has the most rushing yards in a single game on Monday Night Football. He was a 1-time Pro Bowler. He was the first player with multiple 90-plus yard touchdowns.
T.E. Barber.
No.
Damn. Just throwing out a
He is a Heisman winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's a Heisman winner.
Yeah. The King.
No.
Henry. No.
No.
Oh,
One
that
Pro
sucks.
Bowl? One Pro Bowl for Derek?
False. Whoops.
One Pro Bowl, first player with the first player with multiple 90-yard or more touchdowns, rushing touchdowns.
I know. Derek's got. Are they 95 plus from Derek?
Derek has like a 94, 93, and then a 99.
He's a 99. Yeah. Okay.
Most rushing yards in a Monday Night Football game.
Heisman
winner.
Heisman winning running back.
Heisman winning running back. Yep.
Reg. Did Trent win? King Henry. Reggie Bush?
Nah, it's not Reggie Bush.
Bailey Sanders? No, 1 Pro Bowl. Trent Richardson?
1 Pro Bowl. No.
I don't even know if he won Heisman. I think it's in my brain somewhere. I don't know why.
1 Pro Bowl, most rushing yards in a Monday Night Football game. First player with multiple 90-plus yard touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. Was a Heisman winner. Let me know when you need that last one.
Give me the last one.
He was initially drafted by the Yankees.
What? Bosif? Everybody knows Bosif Jackson?
It's Bo Jackson.
I mean, I was thinking
Jackson.
Bo, and then I was like, I don't think we were going back that far right now.
Ooh, and I thought, he played 4 years in the league, so it's like,
yeah, and that's
one Pro
that's
Bowl,
where the 1 Pro Bowl comes. Yeah.
Heisman winner,
most rushing yards on a Monday Night Football game.
There were so many more baseball facts that I could have thrown in there, but you would have gotten it quicker than Mohamed Sanu.
But the second you throw in baseball,
yeah, well,
like someone actually playing baseball.
Yeah. Well, and it was also going to be, I think it was like he's played for more baseball teams than NFL teams.
Yeah, sure.
Something like that is what it would have been. So, yeah, it would have been. All right. This last player. This player is top 10 all time in total tackles. This player has played for 3 teams. He was a 10-time Pro Bowler.
James Harrison?
No.
Dang.
He was the second player to have 13 consecutive seasons with 100 tackles or more.
13 consecutive seasons?
The second player to ever have 13 consecutive 100-plus tackle seasons.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm. So the man was tackling.
He was tackling often. Can I get another hint?
He is 1-1 in Super Bowls.
13 straight years or 13 years?
13 consecutive seasons. With 100 or more tackles. Top 10 all-time in tackles. 1-1 in Super Bowls. He's played for
We're looking at a
teams.
linebacker.
Maybe we are. We're definitely looking at a linebacker.
Definitely looking at a linebacker. This is probably a stupid guess. Hightower?
Nope.
Terrible guess. Definitely did not play for 13.
Here, just because I know maybe my wording threw you off. He's still in the league.
I did have that thought cross my penis.
So he could possibly break the record or tie the record for 14 consecutive seasons, which is the record.
But he's 1-1 in Super Bowls. It's the Super Bowl. Booby Wagner. Yes. He lost to Tom Brady.
It's Bobby Wagner, Devan.
Bobby Wagner wasn't on that first Seahawks team? Damn.
He was. No, he wasn't on that
he wasn't on that Rams team.
He wasn't on that Rams team. No.
He wasn't on that Rams team that won. Okay.
He spent that 1 year. He wasn't on the Rams winning or losing Super Bowl team.
No.
He was just a part of the Seahawks Super Bowls. Obviously, he's with y'all now. But yeah.
Still tackling.
Yeah, and that record is held by another Washington Commander.
London Fletcher.
So
London's the guy. London is incredibly underrated.
I mean, he's what? I think he was like second or third all time in the tackles when I was looking.
Really?
Yeah, he's up there for sure.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you have 14 straight.
Yeah, 14 straight 100 or more. Ridiculous.
Should be up there.
I mean, Ray Lewis ain't doing that shit or didn't do that shit.
No.
But yeah, okay. Mohamed Sanu,
everybody.
Bo Jackson, who?
Ray Lewis.
Yeah, he was top of the list, but I mean that's just what Ray Lewis did. The man tackled people. You were going. It was just gonna be a bad, like he says, bro. It was just a bad day.
Just a bad day.
Run into him. It was just a bad day. But Devan, we talked Aaron Rodgers, fucking playing in the sand. I guess just not wanting to make any decision.
No.
Demarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons arguing over who's gonna have the worst record next year. Whatever's going on in Seattle, and whatever else is going on in Seattle. Top 10 best free agents of all time. I think it's time to get out of here.
I think so too.
I think it is. I think we discussed everything we need to talk about. Next episode, hopefully somebody makes up their mind and decides what team
I
they're
hope
play
so.
For.
Dude, it's not going to be until the day that our podcast releases.
He's going to do it Tuesday morning.
Tuesday.
He's going to do it. Yeah, Tuesday morning. As soon as I upload the podcast, he will decide that he's a Pittsburgh Steeler or Viking. And we
or a fucking Cardinal or XFL Renegade or whatever the fuck.
We are that close to the NBA playoffs.
How close?
We're that close. We're 9-10 games.
We're close to March Madness. Cooper Flag's hurt.
I just care about my Gators.
How are they playing?
I mean, they haven't lost in March yet.
5.
4-0. They're like number 5 right now. They're gonna be they're
hooping.
They're gonna be
hooping all year.
They're gonna be hooping. But we're super close to the NBA playoffs. Like 2 or 3 weeks out. I mean, we are.
Few teams have clinched already.
So that's gonna get interesting. And once we get those seedings and we can start talking about them play-ins, it's really gonna get interesting in the NBA world, Devin. But yeah, is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No.
Oh,
Shout out Mohamed Sanu.
perfect. Shout out Mohamed Sanu.
Slayer.
With all that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of On It. We'll be back next episode on Tuesday. Brand new episodes every Tuesday and Saturday. It has been me. It has been Devin. It has been real. We are out.